Hi, this is Mitch Doan, and along with Jamie Richardson, we're your hosts of the Break-Thru Active podcast. We aim to deep dive into health and fitness that will help bring you a better understanding of topics that are of interest to you and can help you on your own journey. If you are enjoying the episodes, we'd love for you to leave us a rating on the platform you listen to your podcasts. Enough from me, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back again to the Break-Thru Active podcast. I've got something a little bit different for everyone today. I am here with Steve, but unlike we normally do when we meet up on Zoom, we're actually doing an live one today. We've met up in my little office, and here we are live, mate. So thanks for coming around.
Thanks, mate. It's nice and cozy in here too. Yeah. It's a bit of a crappy day outside, so it's nice to snuggle up together. Beautiful.
Very, very intimate. Two grown men sitting right next to each other.
Stop touching my leg. Stop touching my leg.
I'm doing that on purpose.
I bet.
But we've got a little bit to uncover today. We do have a karaoke night coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And Steve and I have actually just finished a bit of a workout, and we actually had a bit of a karaoke playlist on. So wanted to talk about that.
We're planning, I think we're actually, to be honest with you, we're in the shed and we're actually rehearsing for the upcoming night, 24th of September.
That's the one.
We're rehearsing a few karaoke classics, and let me tell you, you're in for a show. 24th of September, come down. You're going to see a show. I promise you a show. Promise.
If nothing else will come from the night, you'll be entertained by our performances.
100%. You can't not. So the next 3 weeks, I think every afternoon in Mitch's shed at Wall's End, I think I'm going to come down and we're going to rehearse a couple of songs. There's a few dance routines that could be put in there as well. But I'm telling you, you're not going to walk away on the 24th of September and go, geez, that was a bit bland.
Well, to be completely honest, we're still a bit undecided what songs we're going to sing. But we did come to the realization of one today that we both had a very good laugh at and thought that has to be a goer. And then the question is just how many are we going to do? How are we going to be feeling?
So getting quick, because the night could pretty well just turn into this back and forth, just one after the other. But yeah, we will get up and we've got a duet planned for the night. It's and I don't want anybody to laugh because we're taking it really seriously, this duet as well. We've really put in some time and effort and to get the choreography down packed for the night. So Come down 24th September. You'll be, I think, very pleasantly surprised just quietly.
Imagine if, when you go and watch like a band play, like the pub or whatever, people are just going to be coming down just to watch us. It's a 2 or 3 hour sets.
Imagine if they go down to the karaoke club and then there's like somebody that runs like the nightclubs or something in Newcastle and they're like, well, you guys just did a fantastic job. Do you want mind like doing like the Newcastle pub circuit on the reg?
I've been listening to you guys on number one Newcastle. Number one podcast.
Forgot about that.
So they're probably already going to know us.
Yeah.
Just haven't heard us or seen us perform.
Can you say that again?
Newcastle's number one podcast.
It doesn't get old.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. It's still in the rounds there. Everyone knows about it.
I do love when we're in the gym and someone will like be talking about the podcast and they'll reference that it is. Newcastle's number one.
Yeah, it's becoming a thing now. It's still in the rounds. Newcastle's number one. So I'm not getting sick of hearing about it either. So just keep that up ASAP.
So karaoke, you've got a bit of experience with it. What have you sung in the past?
I've only done it twice. The first time I did it, I was 18, and I was at a rough old pub in Abermain, the Abermain Hotel. Yeah, I was 18 years old, and at the time I was watching Underbelly, and there's a song. Some of you might know it. It's called "Come Said the Boy" by Mondo Rock.
Yeah, I know
it's one that goes, "Come said the boy, let's go down to the sand."
Maybe I do.
It's a pub classic. Did that, and I think at the time I was probably just standing there just singing it. I was a bit too afraid to really like get amongst it and really put in a performance. The other one I did it on a cruise ship, and it went off because it's a karaoke banger, and it was Neil Diamond's "Sweet Caroline." Just purely the crowd participation here when you do the sweet and you throw it.
Da, da, da.
And then you do "Good times never seem so good," and then they go "So good, so good, so good." So I'm all about the crowd participation, and as I said, 24th September, I might do a stage dive. So get ready. All those push presses will be paying off.
Yeah, overhead stability, holding your blood head. Yeah, both my karaoke experiences have been at the camp. One of them like a decade, probably longer. I was probably like 19 or 20 with one of my uni friends, and we sung The Gambler, which was a bit of a crowd favorite. I remember just getting into it.
Everyone loves it.
And then more recently, this year on my birthday, my partner Kate, her brother was out visiting for my birthday, and we were there, and we actually sung "Hey Baby" together.
Did you do the DJ Otzi version?
Oh yeah.
Did you do this bit where it goes, "Okay, we're leaving a gunland, say, ladies and gentlemen"?
I think so. Whatever was on the screen, I was doing.
Did you get into it? Yeah, okay.
And it was my Thomas. Yeah. He was loving it. He was getting real into it, but so was I.
I would have loved seeing you there.
And then it was like, "Hey, baby."
Yes. Yeah, I love that. They have to get it. You have when you're picking a karaoke song, I know that you have your favorites. I know you have songs that you like and you like to sing, but I highly recommend doing something where the crowd can get involved, or the crowd knows it, or a song that they like that everyone knows, because it just creates a better vibe and a better atmosphere. Like I wouldn't be getting up there. Like if my favorite song was, the song "Nothing Compares to You."
Yeah,
because nothing like everyone's just going to be sitting there like this, just crying, drinking their beers.
No sing-along parts.
Nah, so you can't be doing that. You need something.
Well, we actually came up with a few suggestions, which we won't be doing, but thought we'd maybe throw a couple out there if anyone was listening and maybe looking for a bit of inspiration. Mambo number 5.
Absolute banger, absolute classic. Yeah, and if you're doing Mambo number 5, you need to be well prepared, because there's parts of the song where there's like 20-second gap, 30-second gap. If you're not throwing it out to the audience, or if you're not doing a bit of a dance up on stage, don't bother. You need to be going full balls to the wall with Mambo number 5.
You just lose the crowd otherwise.
You have to. You have to make an ass of yourself, 100%.
Got Don't Stop Believing.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. Oh, everyone knows that one.
Yeah.
And I feel like as soon as that gets struck up, then crowd will be pretty much into that from the get-go, as long as you're bringing some good energy.
You know what's another karaoke classic that it's always up the top of the list, but again, there's no crowd participation? Don McLean, American Pie.
Good song.
But it just goes for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
Need the radio edit version. If they don't have that, forget it.
15 minutes.
Yeah, like I wouldn't pick Don McLean.
Nah, great song.
How good of a karaoke hit it is, wouldn't do it.
And the last one, which actually we came across in our playlist when we were working out just before, was Proud Mary.
That's it.
And that a bit slow at the start, but then when it gets into it,
because if you do it, and we're rolling,
and everyone that
should be a good night, the 24th of September. I'm eager to go now.
Yeah, we'll be getting a bit of practice in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully bringing our best performance on the night.
It'll be brought 24th of September. Don't worry about that.
Righto, switching gears very slightly, and this was inspired by a bit of a conversation that Steve had with a group out at Cardiff recently. So I'm going to let you lead the way and let everyone know how this came about and what it is.
Yeah, so as most of you know, sometimes I'll lead the warm-up with a question that, just a random question just to get everybody sort of talking and whatever. And it just led me to first date no-nos, like things you don't do or things that you don't like other people doing on the first date. So the thing was pretty well, I said, put yourself in a hypothetical situation where you don't have a partner anymore. You're going on a first date, and I was using the word striking, like if you're with a striking man or striking female. But if they do something on the first date, like obviously they're not like kicking a cat or something. Like I'm talking actual like things that could happen on the first date. If they do, and you go, nah, no second date for you.
Deal breaker.
Like absolute deal breaker. So, mate, I'm going to throw it to you. What's a deal breaker for you?
We kind of spoke about this before, and we wanted to find a couple that we were in agreement with.
Yeah.
And then we have one each that we both thought of individually. But the first one, and this might be, well, these three are all pretty important, but this one, you really get a good sense of it fairly quickly. It's been a long time since I've been dating, but I remember years ago knowing very quickly if it was going to be a half decent date or not, and that's just how much banter there was.
Absolutely, that's my number one.
If you're and I understand, like, you're nervous when you're first starting a date, but then if you get over those initial nerves and then there's still not much banter and not much back and forth or any laughing or having a bit of a dig at whatever, then it's going to be a long old dinner.
Like if you found yourself drinking 2 liters of water on the date, like constantly just going to grab your cup and just sipping it and putting it back, then absolute no-go. I just think as well, like, yeah, if there's those awkward pauses, I'm going to say, like, I'm going to allow a couple, because one of our members, I'll give him a shout out.
Is this
Mr. David Hughes? If you're listening, Dave,
he will be.
Look, he said something to me the other day, and he said, and it's so true, and this is the heart of Dave Hughes. He said to me, he said, look, listen, you're all crazy. You need to give somebody more of a chance in the first date. So what I'm going to say is this: I usually like three pauses in the conversation where it's like a little bit awkward. I'm starting to go, no. So I'm going to say 5. If there's 5 pauses in the date, if you're talking about something, or if there's a little bit of, like, instead of laughing, you let out air from your nose, like if you like that, it's done. 5 of those, it's over. It's over for me.
I remember just knowing if it was a good date or not.
Yeah,
it's kind of like you're just aware that, like, did you click at all, and was the conversation good, and was there a bit of banter, and do you want to actually, hang out with them again?
Yeah.
And sometimes you did, obviously, and then other times and it's nothing against him as a person, but you just didn't click. But I think that banner, especially because, well, for me personally, and I'm sure for you too, like, I like the bit of banner.
Yeah.
I mean, you want a bit of serious chat here and there, but you don't want it to feel like an interview. You don't want to be there, going through your list. So say, what do you do, and how long have you worked there, and what's your 5-year goal?
Because it's just that constant repetitive crap that you hear all the time.
Boring, So there's a bit of that, getting to know people, but then a little bit of banter, whether it is like you ripping off your favourite show or your favourite music.
Or Newcastle's #1 podcast. Or, just throwing that out.
Because obviously they would have listened.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Not a part of the gym, but still, surely Newcastle, the Break-Thru pod. Yeah. Sweet. I've had a few of those where I've known that it was done, but, I don't know if I've actually been on a date where the female's just gone, no. I think I'm always good for a second date. I'm pretty sure. Pretty interesting. I like to think, but no, it's a lie. I've actually been ghosted before.
You think it's gone great, and they delete your number?
This has gone unreal. No, I have actually. Being ghosted is not fun. Don't ghost anybody. But I've been ghosted. You've been ghosted before?
I would have. Oh, for sure.
Have you ghosted anybody?
Probably.
I've ghosted someone.
I said it was a long time ago, but I was living overseas and I was very much in the dating scene. And sometimes you just
have to.
And I like, contrary, Dave's a lovely guy, and I agree with what Dave said, but sometimes it's just not worth another wasted Monday breakfast.
That's done. Just delete and just let it go. Finished.
Number 2, this is a pretty big one too. Talking about your ex.
Yeah, don't be doing that. Don't be talking about your ex on the first date. Like, I don't think even bring it up, to be honest with you. I don't even think, like, unless like it comes up, like it has to come up in conversation. Don't be saying, like, I don't think talking about the positives of your ex.
Oh,
like, don't be saying
negatives.
Or negatives.
You don't want anything.
None of it.
But I mean, you might want to be, if it comes up like, like, why are you living in Newcastle? Or here, and be like, I moved here with my partner or whatever, and then we separated. Like, that's cool. Yeah. But then you don't have to get into like, he was, he spent all his time at the pub, or he wasn't romantic, or he went out with the boys all the time, or
it's always a really good like mood, like setter for the mood when you roll up and like they say to you, like, my ex looked better on the first date than you do. That's a good start. Thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Just quietly, you're not getting a second date. But yeah, just don't really.
And I don't want anyone to think that we're just picking on girls here, because guys would do this. I feel like well, I know lots of people that are absolutely caught up in their ex, and they drag that into their like next dating phase.
Yeah.
And just don't want to be bringing it up, because then it's almost like you feel like they're comparing you to their ex, which is, I feel like it's somewhat natural, but you don't need to verbalize it.
Yeah, I agree.
And over time, I'm sure you'll learn. If you do keep dating, you're going to learn about it all. Just not.
Yeah, because I think like if you're talking about your ex a little bit, it kind of shows that you're not it's kind of like you're still living there and you're not sort of keen to get to know this current person that you're on a date with. So that's probably a no-go. And
probably a rebound.
Yeah,
really.
it's not good.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that. And the last one we got here is, do you know what? I actually think I could be guilty of this sometimes, because I like to think in conversations I kind of leaded it a little bit, and sometimes people are a little bit more like backing off myself, and it's only talking about yourself. So I think if I wasn't to go on a second date, that might be why a female might do that to me. So I'm gonna put my hand up and say,
you're a very chatty person, so maybe, I don't know if it would be about yourself, but it would be just about
any old shit
and not about them.
But
like I said before, like you're not there in an interview going through all the things you want to cover, but you need to find out some general stuff about them.
Yeah,
like what you do for work and where you grow up.
I don't like just randomly I don't like asking heaps of questions, like 10 questions, and then they finish the 10th question. They're like, so let's have a look at the menu. I just left it hanging. Yeah, good. No, you don't give a shit about me.
Waiting for them to ask you back, and then it's like,
okay,
I'll just go and shut up.
I'm just going to go next door to Five Sawyers now. Find someone else. Shout out to Five Sawyers, by the way. Another plug. Newcastle on my podcast. I'd expect revenue to be going through the roof this weekend after that plug, just quietly. So yeah.
But it's you don't want to just list all these questions back to back to back. But I would like to think if you're trying to get to know someone, a very organic question is, what do you do with yourself?
Yeah.
Or how long have you been in Newcastle? Where'd you grow up?
Yeah.
What's your family like? Just very general stuff. And if someone's not asking you that, then how much do they actually care? Or maybe they're just not the type of person that you want to.
I think a lot of people are very wrapped up in themselves as well. But I think curiosity is key. I think like especially first date, like you want to be curious about the person, because if you're not curious about the person, that shows me that you're not that keen anyway. So that'd be off-putting for me. So it'd be done.
Well, that's probably the date that you are going to be trying to find out as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because you don't know.
Yeah. So I'd be asking tons of questions.
Yeah.
That's just, and again, I'm probably thinking that's what I would do. So I'm almost expecting the same in return.
Yeah.
But that leads us to some honorable mentions. Like one honorable mention each. This actually happened on a date.
This is funny. When Steve told, no, not my one. This was yours.
Oh, right. The first one actually happened to me. This is on the very first date. Oh, this horrendous. I was like, I think I was 20 and I was on Plenty of Fish.
Good at.
Some real respectable people on Plenty of Fish, just quietly. Shout out Plenty of Fish.
You were one of them.
Yeah, I was on there. I was looking for love. 20-year-old Steve, partying every weekend, but just looking for love. And
midweek love.
Yeah, Tuesday night, not even student night. So I went out with this girl, and she was she was nice, like whatever, lovely, like she didn't do anything wrong, but I knew that there was going to be no second date. Now, Mitch, I'll tell you why.
I was about to ask why, Steve.
See, curiosity, beautiful. See, I like that. You can learn a thing or two. Now, this is why. She talked like a baby. Like she talked like a baby to me. So she's putting a hand on my arm and going like
goo goo gaga.
How's your day going? Like a full on baby to me. I said, like, I don't want to go on a date with Maggie Simpson. Like, get out of here. Here's your pacifier and shut up. Like,
was she immature as well, or just?
Oh, she was just too softly spoken and too baby. Like she was really like talking like that. It's not the softly spoken. I can handle softly spoken, but she was a bit too gooey over me. Just a little bit too gooey, like dribbling crap like this. No good. Like just and she wasn't ugly by any means, but I knew then and there that I could not put up with a second date of being goo-gooed and gaga over. I was just like, nah, man, I'm not having that. I'm sorry. But
do you know what that reminded me of? And it's going to actually lead into my one.
Yeah.
Seinfeld, when they analyze just the smallest situations. Yeah. And then just that's like George will say, oh, she did this. Or Jerry will be like, when she was eating one pea at a time. And then they didn't have another date. Goo goo gaga.
Just quietly, any members, don't be goo goo gaga over me in sessions. Otherwise, I won't want trainers anymore.
Steve will leave. You're throwing the job. My one it's a little more somewhat expected. It's a bit more spoken about it.
Yeah.
And it's actually in Seinfeld as well.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact episode.
Uh-huh.
But it's when it gets to that somewhat awkward time at the end of the meal, and the check comes, the bill, and they put it in the middle of the table, and the waiter's probably thinking, "Oh, here we go. Let's see what happens here." Having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
And the waiter normally leaves, but then it's kind of like just sitting there in the middle of the table.
Yeah.
And I'm always going to pay for the meal just because.
Because you're a good bloke.
Well, that's how my dad raised me.
Right.
Pay for the meal. And,
nice.
And this was years ago, right? So this was like maybe a bit more different now with the quality, and I don't know. But so I would always go to get the bill, happy to pay it.
Yeah.
But I wanted her just to have a little bit of like
dig,
just to say like, "Oh, I'll go halves with you," or or go to grab it and then say, "Oh, I'll pay," or and then I say, "Oh no, like it's fine. I'm happy to. I had a really nice time and I'd like to pay." And then she was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And then
nice,
that's cool. But if there was just no intention on their end to grab it or go halves or anything, then it's a little bit of a.
So what happens if this happens, right? Are you off the person if the bill comes out? They got the book, like the book thing, and you like in a hypothetical situation, you're both lunging for the book, right? You both have a hand on the book and you're going back and forth, and then you say
tug of war,
and you go like this. You say, "I'll pay for it," and then she just gives up. She goes, oh, "Okay,
that's fine."
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So first sign of you going, "I'll pay for it," she just gives up.
Well, yeah, I'm not that picky.
I want a little bit of a fight.
You want her to say,
I'll get it. No, it's fine. I'll get it. No, I'll get it. All right.
You want a 3-minute debate?
Yeah, I want to go back and forth. I like a bit of tug of war.
I just want something. I just want her to be like, "Are you sure?" Or like, "Oh," and then I'm like, "That's fine." I don't want a big argument.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just very quickly, if you have been enjoying our podcast and you've been watching us on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you've been listening to our podcast, give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever it is that you've been listening to us. It really helps the channel grow, and I would be extremely appreciative and grateful if you took a moment to do that for me. Okay, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Just something.
I don't know if you know this, mate, but there's a little running joke. There's a little running joke between me and my partner, Brooke, and it's happened one time. One time I forgot my wallet. If you've seen 2.5 Men, right?
Yeah.
Now the running joke is, I'm Alan Harper, who always like forgets all. And like whenever like we go anywhere, it's always like, "Got your wallet, Alan?" So like, don't turn into Alan Harper. I've got this joke that I'm a real cheapskate and real tight. I just want to let everyone know that's not the case. Right?
I would love for anyone listening to share any funny first date moments or experiences they've had. It doesn't have to be anything we spoke about, but if there is something else, that'd be actually really funny, and we could talk about that.
Yeah, there'd be some bangers out there. Don't hold back. I'm not going to judge it that much. I'd love to hear it. So get amongst it.
Moving on, we're actually going to go need to grab a few supplies. Do you want to go grab that? Those pieces of paper.
I'll be back.
What we've got here, just to finish things up, we don't have too much longer to go, but we've got a few different questions that we're going to be going through, and the whole point of these questions is for Steve and I to answer with one of the trainers. So there's going to be certain questions: who's most likely to do X, who's most likely to do Y, and then Steve and I, we're not going to be colluding. We're going to write down either Mitch, Steve, Jamie, Kelly, Rach, or Brody, and then we will show the camera here for you guys who are watching. Can't use those ones.
There's plenty of these here. Like we've got plenty of supplies.
Some of those we can't use.
There you go, there's halves.
And then we will show the camera, and then we'll talk a little bit about how we came to that. To that realization, or to that person. Maybe use that one.
So if anybody's watching on YouTube, that might be a little bit more fun in regards to this whole activity. But obviously, if you're just listening on your drive or whatever, you can, that's fine. You'll find out anyway. Yeah, so it's all good. So number one.
Yep. Very first one we've got is, which of the trainers is most likely to still own a 3310, an old Nokia?
So right now, I can't see what Mitch is writing.
Yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see there's no peeking here. We have not colluded in any way. Okay, so I just want to see how well we know like each other's like responses and how well we know the trainer. So the person most likely over 3310 is
Steve.
It's me. Like, I'm the most likely. Now the reason why I put myself is because I'm 32 going on 85 when it comes to technology, and I've had this, like, I'm notorious for, I'll have something techie like a new phone or new shoes, and I'll literally run them to the ground. I'll run the phone to the ground. I'll run the car to the ground. I'll just not update until it's absolutely turned to shithouse. So that's why Steve is the answer.
Well, yeah, I just know a little bit of Steve's technological troubles just a few times over the years, asking about how the speaker works or asking about how Google Drive works.
All that.
Stuff. Just nothing too major, but just a few bits. And I think Steve owns it. He's the first to tell you. Not the most tech-savvy bloke going around.
That's me. 100%.
In agreement, mate. 1 from 1.
We're good.
We're right.
We're good. Let's go.
All right. Number 2, mate. What do we got?
So we got which trainer is the most likely to go 1 week without a shower? Now you guys would probably know this because who probably stinks the most. So you guys probably know, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it. This is the most likely to not have a shower in a week.
All right.
Who's the stinkiest?
3, 2.
I'm going James.
I'm going Mitch.
You're going you.
I'm going Mitch.
Why are you going yourself?
Well, the thing with Jamie is I know him obviously very well, best mates, and he loves a shower. He'll have 1 or 2 a day minimum, and despite his potential hygiene at times, he's a showerer. He loves it.
See, I think at times as well, like I'm just going this because there's times in the past where just like shit will be left everywhere. Just it's just, I think it's the lack of like picking stuff up that just allowed me to go straight away for that answer.
If I didn't know about his like love for showers, then I'd be in agreement. And then the way I sort of broke it down after that was, well, it's obviously going to be a boy.
It's you or me.
Yeah.
You didn't want to say me.
Nah, I'm not that keen on a shower, to be honest.
You're a bath guy.
No, shower. But just it gets to the end of the night and I sort of just can't be bothered. And I always will.
You just wait for the rain.
Just
jump outside.
Just wait till I sweat again.
He doesn't shower in summer. Unbelievable.
But it's a real struggle for me to get in. So I thought, well, if that's the way I know that I am about it, then
that's what it is.
That's me.
See, at least he owns it. Again, we're just owning things here. All right, fair enough. That's 1 out of 2. That's not too bad. We're on the next one. Next one, interesting.
Next one. Who is most likely to have their own reality show?
Own reality TV show? Why do I think we're going to be in agreement here? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Steve again.
Yeah, it's me. I'm the most likely to have my own reality TV show. Pure, like, I think because I've always been a reality TV enthusiast. I've always loved reality television. I've wanted to. I think a couple of weeks ago we were talking about Big Brother. I applied for Big Brother, and I'm also one of those people. I think when the cameras are on me, I can sort of play it up a little bit, like a little bit more. And I don't know. I just like the camera in front of me. I just think it'd be a fun time on a YouTube channel or following the life of me. Just
podcast.
That's why when you cussing on my podcast, Steve, most likely reality TV show.
That was a no-brainer. I was just pretending like I was writing someone then because I already had a Steve, so I didn't want it to be too obvious.
It was on.
But yeah, no full well that you tried out for Big Brother years ago, and we spoke about that recently.
Yeah,
and just you're a little bit sort of just random with your thoughts, and just kind of a bit entertaining in that sense. And I think out of all 6 of us, then that'd be
It's a pretty clear-cut choice.
I don't think many could argue with that one.
No, I'll own that too, mate. So next one is, so we're 2 out of 3, which is, again, not too bad. The next one is, which trainer is the most likely to get thrown out of a club? Now, this is a hard one because there's so many different ways to get thrown out of a club. Is it either too intoxicated, carrying on deluxe? Like which trainer is, what are we going off here? Tell me what you're going off. What is it?
Intoxicated. Well, the thought of intoxication from the bouncers.
The thought of
Well,
intoxication.
like either are or they like think you are because you're carrying on for whatever reason.
All right.
Yeah.
So most likely to get thrown out of the club.
Yeah, because that's pretty much what it does come down to.
This is hard. This is hard because we've all sort of been thrown out.
We've all been there
at times. I still haven't locked one in yet. I think it's just quite a difficult one. But I'm going to have to go most likely to get thrown out of the club. I'm going to go. Yep. Three.
Right. Green reveal.
One. Go.
Jamie.
Yep. Jamie's the
we're
most
on.
likely to get thrown out of a club. I just think for me, that was probably the hardest because we've all been thrown out. Even Miss Brody Griggs herself. She's been thrown out of the club. The nice one of the group. She's been thrown out of the club. But this one was very hard, but I had to go with Jamie because I think just when he gets on it, he gets on. So I think people just be like, nah.
And he's a bit clumsy at times, as we all saw at the trivia night, falling off the chair.
I think that was staged. I think
he was on stage, yeah.
Well done. But yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, that was a pretty easy choice. Towards the end, I was like, nah, it has to be.
Well, I was thinking about you because we've been out and you've been booted out.
For no reason.
Yeah, and I think just because you're a big presence and stand out. But Jamie does get his drunk eyes on and very easy to see when he's had a few.
Yep. No, I think think the choice there. Just quietly again, we're 3 from 4. We're absolutely killing this game. Just quietly,
we're going to get this one.
This is easy. I think everyone knows this one. What is it, mate?
Number 5. Which trainer is most likely, or is most of a perfectionist?
Tough, real tough. This is 4 out of 5 incoming. I just know now that this is going to be a point.
3, 2, 1. Miss Brody
Griggs. 4 out of 5. That's so easy. And I think everybody that knows Brody in the gym, I think everybody would have picked her to be the perfectionist.
And this isn't a shot. This is like she's very meticulous with her work, with how she presents herself, with everything she does personally, her planning, her everything.
Yep.
So I think that was a pretty easy one. She loves being in control of everything. Not a control freak, but she likes knowing what she's doing and knowing what's upcoming. And it's probably a good thing. Good for us because we're far from perfectionists. So she keeps us all in line with certain things that we need to do business wise and work wise.
I was just thinking just after we've gone through these 5 questions so far. I've got 3 to go. But Miss Kelly Bryant, she'd be absolutely loving life because she got absolutely roasted deluxe on the last one. She not one mention in this one. So Kel be sitting back listening to this, just going, thank goodness, taking the heat off me. But we still got 3 questions to go, but just quietly, 4 out of 5 is not a bad effort at all. Which leads us to which trainer is most likely to get a heart attack from watching a horror movie. So I haven't watched too many movies with them, but I'm just going to have a stab in the dark here, and I'm just going to go. And I think we might actually put the same person. Maybe I think. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Okay, I'm at Rach.
Brody for me.
Why is Brady?
Well, and it was a tough one because I'm not actually sure if she likes scary stuff or not. We spoke about it before, and she either doesn't mind them and she actually goes out of her way to watch scary stuff, or she hates them.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking that I feel like that she would be very easy to like scare and like shock and surprise. Like if you were hiding around the corner from her at the gym and she didn't know you were there, and you went, like she would like
freak out.
Yeah, so that was where I was kind of coming from.
I was tossing up between the two, and I've got no actual real reason. I just put myself in the scenario of I just pictured them all watching a movie, and who would be sitting there going, gee whiz, this is no good. And I just thought Rach might actually be the scaredy cat of the group. So I'm going to go you, Rach. Feel free to hit me up and tell me how wrong I am, but that's what my choice.
Brody.
So we're 4 from 6, mate. Can we bring it home with 2 from 2?
We'll see.
Let's go.
There we go.
What do we got?
7. Who is most likely to go down a YouTube conspiracy hole?
That's hard. That's a hard one. I'm tossing up between 2 people here. And it's because I can see them both doing it, going down that. Like I've just ruled 4 out, just gone done. 2 people going back and forth, YouTube conspiracy hole. Who's the person that I think would do it more?
So I just need a little bit of clarification here. By conspiracy hole, what is this?
So a perfect example is like COVID-19, right? So is the jab, like, are we getting microchipped? And then from there, like, it's like, oh, are we or aren't we getting microchipped? Then they're looking at another video saying like, why it's a microchip, why it's not getting microchip. Then another video will pop up saying like, you know, like, is COVID-19 something or other? And they just keep clicking. They just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole about a particular topic. I'm going to go.
I don't know if any of us would, to be honest, but the question is most likely.
Who is most likely to do that? Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with most likely to go down the rabbit hole. This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is really hard, but
I'm going to surprise you, actually, but I've got my answer.
I'm going to go with. Okay, mate. I think we're going to go opposite here. Yep.
3, 2, 1.
No.
Oh, hey!
There you go. Yep. Jamie. Jamie's the one.
Both of us.
Reason being is because I think out of all of us, the thing that got me there was I think Jamie's the most curious one out of the 6. Yeah. I think he's always the one that's wanting to know more about different things. Yeah. So that's why, and he loves YouTube.
He's a big YouTuber.
And he's happy sitting there watching YouTube. And I just think if there's something that sort of interests him about something in particular, or something's gaining his curiosity, I think he will go hours and hours on end learning about it. So that's why I'm going to pick Jamie for that one.
Yeah, because the thing is with like any of those conspiracies is they always have a fairly good argument for it. Like it's not, like it's based, whether or not it's based on correct data or science or whatever, but they've always got a pretty good argument.
Yeah.
And Jamie's quite a logical type of person.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if he sees something with a decent argument,
he
can kind of put the emotion to the side and think that makes sense, you know, for these reasons that they mentioned, and then he could go with it. Not to say he's COVID related or anything like that.
Just something.
Yeah, like Bermuda Triangle or
just whatever it is.
So he's very logical, and like I thought the same thing. He loves his YouTube and goes from one thing to another, as we all do. But might spend the next couple of hours just watching it, and before you know it, he's changed his belief slightly about something.
I hope he went down the rabbit hole before he went away about like not dropping his passport. How to not do that. I hope he went there a couple of hours.
How to get overseas without your passport.
Shocking. I'm glad he got there again. But we're on to the last one, and this is for 6 out of 8. So we've got 5 out of 7, which is not too bad. Yeah. And the one is, which trainer is the most likely to spend money on something stupid? So like just pointless crap that they just don't need at all. So pointless crap. Person's going to just randomly spend it on something pointless. I'm going to go with.
Oh, this is tough.
This is kind of hard, but I'm just going to go with this person.
Yeah, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Rach.
I got Rach again. Something pointless and stupid. I just think, so this is this process of elimination here. That's purely it. I thought, so yourself, I think you're pretty logical. So you'd be buying stuff and going, I'm buying this for a particular purpose. Brody would buy it for a particular purpose. Jamie might purchase just something like randomly, but I don't really think he's just going to buy it on pointless crap. Kelly's a mum. Like Kelly knows about saving money and all that crap. I was leaning towards myself and Rach out of the 2, but at the end of the day, I just think Rach is a bit younger. You know, she's probably just going to go, stuff it. I'll just purchase this. So process of elimination, Rach.
I actually chose Jamie, and I was tossing up between Steve and Jamie, but it was, I noticed Jamie can be a little bit spur of the moment. Some things can get a bit caught up. And I don't think he buys a lot of pointless crap, but he loves his tech.
Yeah.
Loves his tech. You've been to his place. He's got all the bells and whistles in his cinema room. And if there's something that he's going to maybe get caught up with if he goes to Harvey Norman or one of those tech stores, he might just see like a new something or other that he might want, but not necessarily need.
Yeah.
And then he's just going to grab that and
I can agree with that as well. I can agree with that. And I think I think the overall score that we've got here, so we got 5 out of 8. That's over 50%. And there's some tough questions there that we probably don't 100% know about each other. So 5 out of 8 is not too bad. I was expecting something around the 5 or 6 mark myself.
Yeah.
So I think we've done a good job there. But I'm interested to read. I remember the last time we did this, when I went to the gyms after it, people were saying, oh, you know, who's the biggest skinny dipper? Who's this?
Yeah.
So it sort of brought up conversation. So I'm keen to find out what people think about these certain things. So like if you have any if there's any question out of all of those 8 that you think, nah, so-and-so is more likely this, so-and-so is more likely this, just hit me up in the gyms. I'm excited to find out what you guys think about it. So
we covered a lot today. They were fun. And then the first 8 ones, I'm really actually intrigued to hopefully hear like some funny first date stories.
Yeah.
From it, whether it be like people who are dating now or people who dated, you know, way back when.
Hopefully someone had one last week. That'd be good. So perfect. Or had one today.
We can talk about their second date and if they're going to get into it.
Just quietly, I think this is why we're Newcastle's #1 podcast, because we've just given people the top 3 no-nos on the first date. So we're improving Newcastle's dating scene. We're improving Newcastle's entertainment scene by saying, like, these are the karaoke songs you need. You need to be a bit uplifting. You need crowd participation. None of this just boring crap. And then
sharing some cool stuff. And we are sharing and giving out a lot of extremely tremendous value.
And shouting out people. So I shouted out a restaurant at the start of this podcast. I've shouted out other people in previous podcasts. And this is why we're at the top.
Just launching their businesses to the moon, getting them mentioned on the #1.
You're welcome.
Righto. We're going to leave it right there, mate. That was fun. Live was a bit different.
I liked it.
Looking at each other and
had
a bit of extra camaraderie, I think. We might make it a bit more regular.
Might have to do it again sometime soon. Thanks, gang. Really appreciate it. Thanks, buddy.
See you guys on the next one.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't already, please make sure you reach out in Facebook Messenger and we'll do our best to cover it in the upcoming episodes. For those of you enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to like, subscribe and leave us a rating. It really helps us grow and spread the good word. Hoping you're all having a great day, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.